Sister by Elvis Presley. This is one of the original rockabilly songs for sure. A lot of cool little riffs in here and scales for you. So if you're trying to learn rockabilly style, this is a great place to start. And we'll just kick right into this. There's an intro part here, which is pretty basic. It's just going to be a E major chord. Okay, we're just going to kind of strum on this like so. Okay, maybe a little faster. A couple measures worth of that. And then it does a cool little twangy riff here with the E string, where we do an open. One more time. Bend the 3 twice. Back to open. One more time. Bend the 3 twice. And then just end it with a final open there, where it carries into the verse. Okay, so we'll put that whole intro together. Alright, now the chorus kicks in here in a kind of interesting little pattern where you kind of rest for the first measure, where the vocals come in, and then the second measure you come in with this scale, and it's kind of like the iconic scale of the song here. Pretty basic, it's just a pentatonic here. We're going to do a 3 bend on the high E, and then open. Alright, and then we do a 3 to open on the B, and then we do 4 slide to 2 on the G, and then to open G. Okay, and then just end it with a 2 on the D. Alright, so that's that whole little scale. Alright, and we do that whole thing twice, where we'll rest a measure, do the scale, rest a measure, and do the scale. Okay, and then it'll come up to basically just the A chord, but we're just going to strum it, kind of just, we're just going to strum a couple short strums with it. Okay, for a measure right there. Okay, and then back to the E chord, but we're not going to really play the E chord. We're just going to do another type of scale here, where we're going to slide up to 4 and 3 on the G and B. Okay, just slide up to it, strum it again, twice actually. Okay, and then slide back up to it once more, and again, and then we do 4 to 2 on the G, to open, to the 2 on the D. So we'll try that all together. Rest. Alright, and the second part of the chorus, okay, it's just going to start with a B7 chord. And then one measure of that. Then we come up a fret, so we get a C7 chord. Only for 2 counts. And then finish that measure with the B7 again. Okay, so alright, and then it'll essentially end with the E, the scale, the same old scale we've been doing. Alright, and then it would just go into the verse. Alright, so put that together. Alright, and the verse is pretty simple. It's just all in the E chord here. But we're just gonna kind of strum it, you know, just the high parts. And that's how we want to do it, is just some like short little staccato strums. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Alright, so the first measure there. And then for the second measure, we'll just kind of add a couple of elements where we do kind of do a hammer on from the open to 1 on the G. Okay, and then we'll add a little bit of 2 open back to 2 on the D. Alright, and we'll just repeat that measure about 6 times. Alright, and then it'll rest for a measure. And then we'll come in with the 8 kind of faster strums. And then it'll rest again. Alright, so we'll try that all together. Alright, and then right back into the chorus. Alright, and then there's just a small little alternate part that comes in when you get to the later choruses. You could do it like the second chorus if you want, it's fine. Where basically everything's exactly the same, but instead of doing the right there, we're basically just going to bring it all the way up here so we get it in a higher octave. So instead of being at the 4 and 3 on the G and B, it's going to be at the 16 and 15. And you're just going to play it the same way as if you would down here. Okay, so then the 14G, 12G, 12 or 14D. Okay, so it's just an alternate little part you can put in there if you like. And then for the outro, it's basically just the second half of the chorus, and it just repeats till a fade out. So, same deal, just the B7 to the C7, B7, and then the scale in E. Alright, that was Little Sister by the King himself, Elvis Presley. Really cool rockabilly song, one of the originals for sure. I hope you liked it, hope you learned some cool stuff with this. Hit me up with a subscription, it'd help me out a bunch if you did. And until next time, tell your little sister not to do what her big sister done.